Hey everyone, so this is going to be my last video of the year. So before I actually get into the topic, I did want to say thank you. Whether you found me this year or this video, or if you've been with me for a long time, thank you. If you've watched or liked or left a comment or told me to go fuck myself because you didn't like one of my predictions, thank you to everyone. It's been a pretty interesting year, and I'm excited for what's to come for this channel, but also just personally, and hopefully for you guys too. All we can hope for is 2023 to be better than 2022. So that is why for today's video, we are essentially going to be looking forward to 2023 because there are a lot of kind of banging ass movies that are scheduled to come out. I know we say this every year, but now truly it feels like the film industry has kind of caught back up a little bit. Not as many movies were released in 2022, which might seem crazy if you're, paying attention to like my channel like this, but just in general for the wide releases, there's been a significant decrease since pre-pandemic, which makes sense. But hopefully with 2023, things are kind of looking back to be on track. The summer slate is stacked. I think there are more movies evenly spread out, and hopefully the Oscar season will be even better next year. And once again, this is just the top 10 most anticipated. The list will change as trailers or posters or more information comes out. So this is just a snapshot as of now. As always, let me know your most anticipated for next year down in the comments, but let's just start with number 10, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Much to my surprise, a Marvel movie makes it into my most anticipated. And the reason I say that is not because I'm some Marvel hater. I mean, if you're a follower of mine, you know that's definitely not true. But because I really am starting to feel the fatigue of Marvel, if you haven't already. We've been feeling it for a while, and part of me still like shakes my head when I'm like, okay, so Ant-Man's coming out in February, and then Guardians comes out in May, and then like the Marvels comes out in November or something like that, and I'm like, Jesus. But the first Guardians is one of the best in the MCU in my opinion, and I think knowing that James Gunn is finally leaving to DC, that this was kind of be his last little stand with Marvel. He's already said his comments about it, so that this is going to be the last Guardians movie with these specific Guardians. There's a lot of talk that Rocket Raccoon is going to die. I thought the trailer was great. I'm sorry, like I already have pre-investment in these characters. I have to see it through to the end. Guardians 3, my number 10, Killers of the Flower Moon. This might be insanely low for some people, but I think this just more so speaks to how interesting this upcoming year is going to be. A Martin Scorsese movie with Leonardo DiCaprio and Jesse Plemons. That's really all you need to know. We thought it was coming out this past year in 2022, got pushed to 2023. It's a Martin Scorsese movie. Now, as you all know, I don't have that like deep attachment to Scorsese just because he's not the director that I like grew up watching, or like that really touched me at a certain age, but I'm no fool. I understand one of the GOATs when I see him. So Killers of the Flower Moon, it's got to be on the list. How can you not? Oppenheimer. Christopher Nolan is an interesting director because I like most of his movies. I really do, but I never think of him as one of my favorite directors, even though if you look at my ratings, you might be like, he probably should be. But Tenet lost me a little bit, even though I do admire some things about it. But I mean, Oppenheimer seems like he's kind of in his bag. I mean, the memes are going to be incredible with him apparently detonating an actual nuclear bomb. I don't know how that's even possible. Like, where the health and safety hazards on that? But regardless, like, I'm excited. The cast is stacked, and whether you kind of like it or not, I mean, I'm excited for another Christopher Nolan movie. I know he's the typical film bro director that I kind of just roll my eyes at. But I mean, God, like he's still kind of good at what he does. So like Oppenheimer, I am definitely interested in it. I got to see it. Got to. Wonka. Okay, now before y'all start laughing, okay, can you just hear me out for a second? This one is more so curiosity, right? Because I'm not exactly looking for a Willy Wonka origin story, right? I really don't give a fuck. But then when it's like, okay, so Timothée Chalamet's Willy Wonka, I'm kind of interested to see how he is. The director of Paddington and Paddington 2 is doing this movie. It's a musical. I'm just like, okay, I have to see it. I have to see this through. I am too curious about it. Cast has Sally Hawkins, who kind of reteams with Paul King. Olivia Colman is in it again. I mean, just I saw like one small clip of Chalamet sitting on a truck while music plays, and I'm like, I'm so curious because Paul King, once again, let me repeat, the director of Paddington and Paddington 2. If this works, like best case scenario, I'm like, he's gonna throw me into some magic. Like it's just gonna be a magical movie, and I'm gonna feel the magic. I'm just gonna feel it. I'm so curious. This could be a train wreck. It really could be. I really don't know. It could be like, Jesus, what's Chalamet? What is he doing? But I'm interested. Come on, how can you not be? Don't lie. You're interested. You know it. Wonka's pretty high on my list, I'll admit. Let me be. Beau is Afraid. Originally titled Disappointment Boulevard, I guess it's Beau is Afraid now. That poster just really unsettles me for some reason, and that's because it is Ari Aster. Hereditary is one of my favorite movies of that decade, and I think Midsommar is very good as well. Sign me up. Sign me up. He has season tickets for me as of now. He can lose me a little bit, but I will watch anything Ari Aster does because I really think he does have a great mind. A fucked up mind, but a great one. I am a little bit nervous about this one, just hearing some reports where it's like, okay, is it like gonna be 3 hours? Like, is it gonna be really like artsy fartsy? You know what I mean? Like, I do want some genuine kind of normal shit sometimes, but I'm too curious about this one. I have to see it. Ari Aster, one of the more interesting minds of horror, and personally kind of one of my favorites as of now. And Ari Aster and Joaquin Phoenix just make too much sense together. They just make too much sense. I'm sorry, like, you gotta see it. Maestro. I don't know if I'm a whore for Bradley Cooper, but I'm pretty close. A Star is Born, one of my favorite movies of that year, and this is Bradley Cooper's follow-up, and he's starring in it, and Carey Mulligan's in it. I mean, like, done. You have me. It's over. It's done. I'll watch it. Jesus. You've seen some of the photos that have come out already, and it's like, wow, okay, so makeup Oscar. I mean, I'm so curious on what this movie will actually be. Will Bradley Cooper have a sophomore slump, or will he just further cement himself as like, okay, this guy, that's the one. A lot of Oscar potential in here, but also some sheer curiosity, because this could just fall flat on its face. Like, who knows? All these movies can be ass. It doesn't matter. And that's kind of what's exciting about movies. They're very hard to make. But Maestro, I'm there day one. The killer. David Fincher is back in his bag. Michael Fassbender playing a serial killer with David Fincher directing. I can move on to the next one right now. I mean, what more do you really need? I did like Mank, but I'll admit that's not one that I really want to ever rewatch, just because I was like, okay, cool, that's a good movie, but I don't really care to see it again. David Fincher back in his motherfucking bag. Probably like my second favorite director of all time. He just, when he hits, which is more oftentimes than not, it's some of the best shit ever. It's just some of the best shit ever. He's one of the best directors of his generation. The Killer, Serial Killer, Michael Fassbender, done. I'm there. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. That is too long of a title. Let me tell you, that is too long. Do I care though? No, I don't. Tom Cruise riding high off of Top Gun Maverick. I guess he's riding high off a cliff from a motorcycle and parachuting down. I mean, this movie is just insane. The Mission Impossible franchise is one that I actually am like, yes, I'm all the way in. I don't think the second one is great. I think the third one's okay. The rest, they bang. This is better than Fast and Furious. I don't understand the Fast and Furious ones. I don't know why I'm comparing. But Mission Impossible, how can you not be excited? The teaser trailer that came out is fire. Tom Cruise doing all the stunts again. The cast is even stacked. It looks huge. They're filming Mission Impossible 8 kind of back to back. This is going to be a fucking big ass blockbuster. I can't wait. I would give my left nut just to see it right now. Dune Part 2. You know, Dune Part 2 actually could be fluctuating anywhere on this list, but when I really sat down to think about it, I was like, I need this. I do. I need this. The cast, Florence Pugh in, Austin Butler in, Denis Villeneuve promises just more action and just straight out like war on. I'm like, yes, dad, give it to me. More of a role for Zendaya, Timothée Chalamet again, and just continues being in the world, because the one thing I loved about Dune was the world building of it all. I loved it. The political warfare, all that shit, I loved it. So seeing Dune Part 2 again, seeing it through, it's going to be awesome. I have all the faith in the world. So that's number 2. And my number 1 most anticipated movie of 2023 was not even close. It wasn't even a tough choice for me. You already know it's Barbie. I'm going to see Oppenheimer too, don't worry. But I mean, if you're asking me which one gets priority, motherfucker, it's Barbie. It's not even close. Not only because this movie has an insane cast and crew behind it, but also the curiosity factor is huge on this one. Because would it like shock me if people come out of Barbie being like, what the fuck was that? That was not that good. It wouldn't. It really wouldn't. But could I also see people walking out of Barbie being like, Greta Gerwig did it again? That was fucking incredible. Oh man, I'm looking forward to that. I'm just too curious on this movie. Like 100, the curiosity factor is through the roof on Barbie. Because what is it really going to be? Is this going to be like a Truman Show type of deal? I think people have an idea of what the movie's going to be, but no one's 100% sure. I know I love Margot Robbie. Ryan Gosling fire, Noah Baumbach and Greta Gerwig reteaming, kind of writing the script. That's a cute ass power couple right there. Greta Gerwig directing, the production design, the costumes that you already see, the trailer from the 2001 A Space Odyssey, like, too good. Oh my god, it's too good. And also, as an Oscar person myself, I'm like, damn, is the Academy, would they nominate a movie like Barbie for like a Best Picture deal? That's also piquing my interest a little bit, because I do want to see, just plainly, forget Oscars for a little bit, just how is this movie gonna do? Like, aren't you that curious too? Now, I have all the faith in the world that this movie will be amazing. It's my number 1 most anticipated. But I mean, it's still a huge curiosity factor, and it's the unknown, and that's facts. So that is my 10 most anticipated. Obviously, there's so much stuff that comes. I mean, Across the Spider-Verse, Creed 3, Asteroid City, John Wick 4, Scream 6. I think Napoleon and the Ferrari movie might come out next year. I think Napoleon will be ready for sure, but I'm not sure about the Ferrari one, but like that's a thing. Hopefully it's a great year. Hopefully it's a great year for movies. Hopefully it's a great year for me. Hopefully it's a great year for you as well. So once again, thank you for supporting the channel and everything like that. I genuinely appreciate it. I don't take it for granted. So thank you. And yeah, I'll see you in the new year.